Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's video in which we'll be taking a closer look at Rubber Soul. Now, I hope to reach a more definitive conclusion than I did at the end of my previous video on Help, but I'm confident that I'll be able to do that. And the reason being that Rubber Soul, as far as Beatles albums go, is a pretty straightforward album when it comes to identifying an original UK pressing, which is good news. So, without further ado, we'll begin with the monos. Now, I'm sure many of you will be familiar with the term loud cut. Now, a loud cut is an original mono pressing of Rubber Soul, which was released with incorrect mixes of the songs. Now, I am not the best person to describe why those mixes are incorrect. There are plenty of far more qualified people and websites out there, but that is the case. And the good thing about loud cuts is that you don't actually need to look at the label to see if you have one, and I'll explain why that is in a moment. But this copy has the sans serif font on its labels, side 1 and side 2. But the thing you need to look for is in the matrix. Now, a loud cut will always end with a -1. I'm going to see if I can capture this on the video for you. Alright, so hopefully here you can see that on side 1, the matrix numbers are XEX 579-1. So you need to look for the -1 on both sides. And then this is side 2, you can see it's XEX 580-1 again. So -1 at the end of the matrix numbers. Only loud cuts have that -1. So if it doesn't have that -1, regardless of the label, it's not a loud cut. Now this is another example of a loud cut pressing, but you'll notice on this copy it's got the Times New Roman font on the label rather than the sans serif font, and yet you'll find that the matrix numbers are the same. So again, on side 1 you have XEX 579 and then crucially -1. And on side 2, we have, if I can capture this, yes, XEX 580-1 again. So, in summary, it can have either label, sans serif or Times New Roman, or indeed, you might even find a copy with one label, Times New Roman, and one label with sans serif, but it can have any of those labels. As long as it has the -1 on both sides, you've got a loud cut. So, you don't really need to look at the labels at all. Now, I won't labour this point too much because it's not particularly relevant, but you can sometimes find a mono copy of Rubber Soul where one side will have a matrix number ending in -1, but the other will have a -4. Now, I actually do have a couple of copies like that in my collection, so it's interesting that you can find these almost semi-loud cuts or half-loud cuts, but what I would consider to be a true first pressing is one that has the -1 on both sides. And I will move on to the stereo, but I will say there is no such thing as a stereo loud cut. I've seen some people on eBay try to pass off stereo copies as loud cuts. Don't be taken in by that. It's only in mono and only with -1. Okay, so here is a nice original stereo pressing. You'll note the large stereo in the top right corner. And here's side 2. Same deal there, big stereo. Now, these original matrix numbers will end in -2 on both sides, so don't expect to see a -1. A -2 on both sides is an original stereo. But as I say, you've also got a nice bold label with a big stereo at the top there. Alright, so that's really all I have to say about Rubber Soul. As a recap, if you've got an original mono, it should have -1 on both sides to signify that it's a loud cut, and if you've got an original stereo it should have -2 on both sides to show that it's an original stereo. And just as an aside, if you find a stereo copy with the sans serif font and Norwegian wood is misspelled with 2 I's, then you are a very rich person, because I've only seen one of these in the flesh and it had a price tag around its neck of around £1,000, and I imagine they could sell for even more online. And I don't have one, by the way, otherwise I would show it to you. But if you've got one of those, well done you. But anyway, so that's the end of today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'll try and get the next one up, which will be on Revolver, a little bit quicker. And I really hope you're all having a good day. Bye everyone.